You know, speaking of cruises, during the peak of the pandemic, the cruise line industry, it was really one of the hardest hit. But now, picking back up again, and people are flocking back to the cruises. So I spoke to travel agent Jenny Maurer to get the latest. So Jenny, it seems like, I don't know if this is my imagination, it seems like I'm seeing more and more commercials about cruise lines and everything. So what is happening? What's kind of the status of the industry right now?
So cruise lines are actually really doing well right now. They are at limited capacity, but the demand is huge. Your cruisers are so anxious to get back out there that cruise lines are, bringing in ships slowly to make sure that all their protocols are up and ready and rolling. But the demand is great for cruise lines right now.
So can we get good deals then? Because I would think if the demand is great, then they're not cutting any deals, but is that not the case?
That's correct. Deals are, and I think it's, like you said, they're pretty much sold out. Depending on when you're looking to go, there are some deals coming out there, but for the most part, I wouldn't look for anything that's I'm going to say a real giveaway.
So what about safety protocols? Obviously, I'm sure that's top of mind with these guys. What are they doing now as opposed to what they were doing, say, a year ago?
So right now, cruise lines are requiring 100% vaccination, and that is as a general rule. There are a couple that have a very small percentage that they will allow on without vaccination status. But even then, so vaccination plus you are having to be tested before you get on board. The crew is 100% vaccinated on every cruise ship, and the crew is masked the entire time.
Are they requiring masks of the customers as well, even if they're vaccinated?
No, once you are on board, you are, and depending again on the cruise line, there's a little bit of variance there, but once you're on board, if you're outside, there is no mask required. But once you are inside, for example, walking to your seat in the theater, you would wear it, but once you're seated, you can actually take it off.
Jenny, thank you so much. Lots of folks anxious to get back out there again. So I thought it was interesting that she said that the industry is doing so well right now, and there's almost wait list type thing, not necessarily, but close. And she said that don't expect deals right now because the demand's too high. There's no reason for them to have deals, and they really need to recover from 2020 anyway.
It's like when we weren't allowed to get our hair cut for a really long time, and then everybody scheduled an appointment once we were allowed to, and then you just kind of got to wait for that big wave to pass.
Absolutely. And we're still seeing that with like the dentist office and the doctor and other things too.
Right.
You love cruises, right?
Love cruises.
I do too.
Favorite
I love
trip.
a good
Favorite type of
cruise
trip.
too.
I think they're fun because I love the fact that it's just all right there. And then, of course, the buffet's not a bad thing either.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, open all the time.
The 24-hour pizza
Yeah,
buffet. That's what I remember.
And the ice cream. There's
Yes.
all.
Oh yeah, the ice cream bar. That's the
sushi
worst
too.
line on the whole boat. So funny. Yeah, if you do a cruise, pay for the bottomless drink because that's the best. All right, so I asked you on Facebook, tell me the best and worst things about cruises. Here's what you had to say. Angel says, the best thing as a mom is not doing laundry or cooking. You can actually rest. The worst, long lines at the ice cream machine. Chad is correct. Candace says, places to dock, visiting new places, food, gambling, accommodations, entertainment, they're all good. You can't beat the price. But the worst, being seasick, she says.
Yeah.
Virginia says, the best is the food, the worst is the food, because I gained 10 pounds in 7 days. Paul Spate says, I don't like that you can't fish from the ship. And Les Rose says, cattle car feeling is the worst thing. Best thing is pulling up to many destinations with ease. Linda says, too many people on big ships. I do not have 4,000 people that I want to travel with, ever. It is a lot of people, but so it's funny. My wife kind of like shies away from the big crowds. I eat it up. I love meeting new people everywhere you turn around. And my twins, my kids, when we went on the cruise last, Drew wasn't born yet, but Tyler was like 2. So Leslie and I would alternate nights, and I would watch him in the cabin, and then she'd go out with her brother and his wife, and we would flip-flop like that. It was so much fun.
It's been a few years since I've been on one. I went on one when I was 13 for a family reunion, and I remember they had like a teen club. So every night, me and my cousins, we thought we were grown. We're like, we're going to the club tonight.
When you're 13, yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
so that was a lot of fun, and of course that 24-hour pizza buffet.
Right. So my favorite things that you get to travel to so many different islands. You know, if you're on one long enough. I love the food. They always have such great food. The entertainment is great. I was trying to think of the worst part about a cruise, and the worst part is that I don't go on them enough. Honestly.
Yeah, you love them that much.
That's it.
I
Yeah.
think the cabins are a little tight though, like the rooms.
Sometimes
Yeah, you gotta
they can
upgrade.
be.
You gotta
yeah.
upgrade
Yeah.
to
Maybe
the
now,
bigger one.
since I'm
You gotta
older, I
get the
can upgrade
balcony.
now.
Got to get the balcony. I think for me, I found myself not caring about the stops because I liked it on the boat so much.
Oh,
There were,
yes.
I think we had 3 or 4 stops, and I went on half of them.
Really?
Yeah, I just had such a good time on the boat. I didn't.
A couple of my friends actually just wrapped up one. They went across the Atlantic.
Whoa.
So they started out like in Europe and then went. So I mean, you get enough days at sea when you're crossing the
Yeah,
Atlantic.
that's crazy.
That's
You
a
didn't tell
long
them the
trip.
Titanic did the same thing, did you? It was crossing the Atlantic too. Yeah, well, we won't talk about that.